Hi crafting friends, welcome to my vlog. My name is Barbara Radzevicius and I'm Bondi fibre crafter. I am very passionate about knitting and quilt making, and yeah, I make vlogs about those two passions and also about how I live my life as a retired person here in Sydney, Australia. I love colours. I love how colours are in everything that we make, handcrafting. So this is a slow crafting channel. It takes a while to make a quilt and it takes a while to make a pair of socks. But if you're interested in this type of content, please subscribe and leave a comment. Comments make so much difference to my channel. I love reading comments. It just connects us more and shows me what you like doing, as well as how I could help in anything you'd like to get help with or ask a question. My contacts are below in the description box and you're so welcome to ask. Okay, let's get into it. It's Sunday the 17th of November, late in the afternoon, and a lot of rain has come over. There is a big front over the ocean, goes right up the coast. Very dark clouds, so a lot of rain. Clouds are moving quite fast too. Bit of a breeze behind it. It's coming from the south. You can see it over the ocean. Moving over very fast. So interesting. Looks like there's some hail in it, you know, when it gets that greeny grey tinge. So I imagine there's hail there. Should be an interesting night. It's getting very windy. Weather's so interesting, isn't it? Trees are blowing in our garden. A giant bougainvillea. No, not bougainvillea. Banksia. Interesting night coming. Very dark there. Very. So let's have a look at the socks that I've made and socks that I'm in the middle of making. I have made some progress. I finished a pair of Bondi Beach socks by Stylecraft, the yarn, and they actually do look like the beach, which is good. And then I'm halfway through making these beautiful ones. This is also by Stylecraft, and this one's called the Blue Mountains. So it's Colours of the World, and this one I thought I'd put a different colour heel in also, grey. I have to buy a ball of grey, I must say, sock grey, so that I could get the stripes, because this one has definite stripes in it and I want them to match, so that's a thing. And then with these ones, I've forgotten what the ball band is and I've lost it, but these ones are not you know, striped, so they don't have to match. But you can see I would like them to match but they don't, so you can see what's happened. Yeah, beautiful, also beautiful but different. And with these ones I've used the same colour, the same wool to make the heel and the heel turn. I just think they're very nice. And then I've also, this one, that's the second one of this, and the stripes are matching. So with the second pair of second sock in the pairs, I've got 4 on the go. They are chugging along and hopefully they'll be finished by next week. I'm not really a fast knitter, just looks like I am. But yeah, this is socks. I've just finished these very nice socks. I love them. It's Stylecraft yarn and the colorway is Bondi Beach. So how serendipitous is that? It is a really nice feeling fabric. I made the library sock pattern. I like it very much. I really like the texture that it gives. So I've done the rib in the top, and at the bottom I've just done plain for the foot. I added a plain heel and the heel shaping, just because I wanted the stripes to match, and that's what I really wanted in these socks. I wanted the stripes to match. I was really, really hoping that I could get it. They are not perfect, but they are nearly perfect. I don't think I could get perfect. And the bottom is okay until I got to the toes and something happened. I think this toe is a bit longer than the other one. But yeah, so I started these on the 11th of November and I finished them on the 20th. So it took me 9 days. I think that's 9. But yeah, love these socks. I think they're lovely. They are off the blockers and my page of knitting socks this year and next till October. And this is this pair finished. They are so squishy, by the way. I love them. I'll show you how I make some simple soup. Very, very simple soup, because the grandchildren like soup and my stomach has been a bit dodgy lately, so I thought I'd make some really basic soup, and this is how I've done it. It's Tuesday today and John is making some soup for me. I want some soup to put in the freezer because the grandchildren actually love this type of soup, and it gets all vegetables into their diet, and it's a nice after school
dinner treat.
Warm up, yeah, dinner treat that they will eat, especially the youngest, who is 8, our sweet Ords. And so John is cutting up, how many carrots?
2 carrots.
2 very small carrots, not very small, small carrots, onion, and celery, which is the base for all soup, practically. 2 white potatoes, 1.5 sweet potatoes, and pumpkin, and it is Kent pumpkin, which is very interesting. I call it a Queensland blue, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Queensland blue. So mainly a pumpkin soup with some sweet potato. Very easy to make and very delicious. So something nice. John is a julienne. I think it's called julienne. No,
just chopping.
Just chopping. Making the base ready. Looks great. Okay. So starting off with the soup, got a couple of teaspoons of olive oil, extra virgin in there. I'll put some curry and some salt. Oh, I might leave the salt until later actually. And now I'll add sizzle. Stir, coat all the pieces with nice oil and spices. Love the colour, sound, and the smell is fab. And we'll let that saute for a few minutes. So now I'm going to add the veg. Nice lot of pumpkin in this one. Actually, it's quite a big soup. Didn't realise it was going to be this big. So I've put the water in. I'm just going to add a couple of big spoonfuls of chicken seasoning. Three. Going to mix in. I'm going to add a bit more water also because I like the water to cover the veg, because when you blitz it, you don't want it very thick. Well, I like it to a certain consistency, but not real thick, you know what I mean. Some salt. I do like David's kosher salt. I think it tastes nicer. But yeah, that's it. So I'll just add a little bit more water, cover it, and leave it for an hour, and it'll be done. To store these in the freezer, we got 5 for $3.50. Really nice size container, and that's what I store my soup in. Also, if I'm just going to put it in the fridge, you can reuse them once, I would say. But yeah, that's a nice size for soup. It's a perfect size for serving also. Here's the finished soup. It looks lovely. It tastes great. And yeah, looks very nice. Perfect. And there's some to take home. Mm-hmm. This is my perfect salad. There's about 1/4 of lettuce, 1/3 of a cucumber cut up small, 1 tomato cut in half and then cut into wedges, and some smoked corned beef, and then some dressing with some parsley or dill. This one has dill. It's just a perfect lunch. So this is the latest catch up with the Hinterland dresses. The last ones I'm making for a while, I'd say. The poppy, which is beautiful, and the lime green. It's so lovely. Have a look. Finished my poppy dress, the Hinterland. Turned out really nice. I haven't put it on yet, but I like how I finished it with tartan bias binding. And I machine quilted it, machine stitched it down twice. I like the twice stitching row. Has a zipper in the back. A Hinterland doesn't have a zipper, but I put a zipper in. Love this fabric. And the fabric is from Spoonflower, and it's Katerina Karolova. Beautiful. So here's the finished dress. I really like it. I plan on wearing it with this cotton top that I did some modifications to recently. I think it looks really nice and cool. But yeah. So this is my Hinterland dress. One moment. So yeah, this is my Hinterland dress, and it's probably the last one I'm going to make for a while. I think this is number 6. And yeah, I've washed it twice before I am wearing it, because it's poplin. It had a sort of stiffness to it, and I wanted more drapey softness, so put it in the machine twice and just line dried it. I think I might have to machine dry it for a bit more softness, but I love the poppies and I'm really happy with it. I love the colours. I love this olive green. I think it looks great together. I'm a size 18, 16 on top, 18 on bottom. And I think this is a very nice shape of a dress. Very comfortable for summer, for any season really. Thoroughly recommend it. Now, the Hinterland dress in poppies. Fussy cutting. Now that's a subject, isn't it? I think most quilters know what fussy cutting is, and I've got my fussy cutting pieces out, some of them, and I'll show you how I like to do it. Here it is. Thought you might like to have a look at some of my 1-inch hexagon paper piecing. I made the snowflake quilt. I made a couple of them. Must be about 4 years ago now. Such an interesting way to make patterns in a quilt. Flowers, pins, some orphan pieces, and some fussy cutting. So we're going to talk about fussy cutting today and how exciting it is. This is one of my favourite quilts using fussy cutting and 1-inch hexagons. I love the back too. The back is one of my favourite prints. So this is how some of the 1-inch hexagons flowers. So the 6 petals, these are petals, and they make up a flower. And I really liked having the 6 outer petals and the middle petal to be from the same fabric. I really like collecting stamps. So I used to do that when I was younger. I don't so much now, but I collect them sometimes for the grandchildren. I really love stamp collecting. Bugs. Zebras. butterflies. I love that butterfly fabric and that beautiful purple pansy fabric. I really do love Charlie Harper prints of birds and cats and things like that. Forget-me-nots. Here is my cat. It's a Charlie Harper cat of a calico. You see her face and 2 ears. Birds. I haven't got space to hang my quilt up, I'm sorry. So I've draped it over the couch. Camping. Beautiful flowers. I think they're just so beautiful. Zelda. I love Zelda. Green paisley, it reminds me of India. Beautiful colours. Love that one. Some turtles. Clocks. I love clocks. Jungle parrots. Some Australian parrots in there. Some K Facet Collective. One of Philip Jacobs prints. Another one. Fans. It's a lovely, lovely blue one. It's just, I just like looking at them, you know, and reminiscing. Butterflies. Do love butterflies. I like this one. And the path, that's the fabric that holds everything together. And I've used as the path throughout. It's a plain block we're just quilting. Yes, the red I used just for the path throughout. Really like it. I must have bought 2 meters of that for the sole purpose of doing the path. And for the binding, I used a fabric that I have used before. A 2.5 inch strip folded in half and sewn on with the machine and then hand hemmed. This one. I've hand quilted it also. I really love the backing fabric too. It's very colourful. It's got a thin batting in this one and it just makes it very soft. So it's a very soft quilt. The measurements are, it's not a square, it's a small rectangle, and it'd be about 50 inches by 65, I'm thinking this one was. And there are 7 flowers across and 10 rows down. So I constructed it in rows. I do love the ghosties. That's me. A very doable way to make a quilt by hand. All you need are papers and thread. I'll show you what I do, what I have to make this type of quilt. I've got 2 examples to show you in the book that I made. Just open it up. So this is the front of the block, and you can see that I have used 1-inch hexagons, and I have very carefully matched the pattern on the fabric, cut it out and sewed it back together. I think it's just lovely. And the block in the book is Susan, number 11. This is the back of the block. You can see how my fussy cutting pieces are matched on the front side, and this is the back, and that's what that looks like. I've got to say, fussy cutting, you know, it has a spectacular, in my view, result, but you know, it just takes time, doesn't it, like everything. Another fussy cutting piece. It all depends on the block that you use. Also for this, I really love the pansy one. So that's the pansy block. And this is how I constructed it. Not a lot of fussy cutting in this one, but you can see the picture that it makes when it's all together. Yep. The easiest type of fussy cutting is where you choose a fabric and you piece it together like a picture. I really love Japanese prints. I think the back is as important as the front. These are from the 52 hexagon blocks by Katia Merrick. Not all my fussy cutting is from the book, but you know, a lot are, and she was the inspiration that hit in 2016, I think it was, with this unreal way of piecing pieces in a hexagon. Chocolates and kangaroos. And then I've got a whole lot of chocolates cut out. It's a box of chocolates here. This is a type of fussy cutting where you just take one fabric and use it all over to make a geometric shape. I made a whole quilt out of this too. Really liked it. Love the shape, and I like the secondary patterns that the shapes produce. It's very fun. This is the easiest type of fussy cutting. The one that makes a picture, tells a story. This is a library. You see, you can just have, I really like the six petals to make a flower. I think it's lovely. I do love these girls. This one is about hats. I do have other ones. Hairstyles. And fun. That is a fabulous print. I really do like that design. And here's nurses. I think the nurses are just great. Some fairies. It's so good to be able to make a story, you know, from just small pieces of fabric. I think I bought these ones from Spotlight, and so not high-end priced fabric, but very nice and very good quality. Very subtle. And then with the leftovers, you just make. Now, moving on to a bigger picture. When I've got the flowers together, I like to make a frame, and I call it a snail. So you can either have it for, you know, for your flower or for the next size, next round. So, but it's the path, very handy. And this is the next size up. So from a flower, it has a frame. I really love the Tula Queen Elizabeth I range. I made a few of them. These are just leftovers from other projects. I love the clocks. It's all about time, isn't it? Not square block, friends. Hexagon blocks. Love the colours in this one. Well, I love the colours in all of them. That's a Philip Jacobs print with Japanese people around it. Another Queen Elizabeth I with botanicals. And finally, an African one. I bought a meter, I think, of this African range. I really loved it, love the colours in it. It's just beautiful. Then I am making a quilt with diving people. I have been doing this project, I've got to say, for years. I did buy a few meters of this because it has a background and it takes up a lot of fabric, so I bought 4 meters of it. It was a big splash for me, money-wise, but well worth it. I love watching synchronized swimming. I think it's just fantastic. And this is Timeless Treasure Fabrics. It's not called anything, it's called pattern number 6896. And I want to do some synchronized swimming pieces, so and I want to do them in flowers. So we have this one. This is all from one piece of fabric, so depending on how you want to, look at that. So you can see how the fussy cutting joins the picture exactly and matches. All these are just from one piece of fabric. I was just blown away. So many things you can do with just, and these are all different positions of swimming. I have a lot pinned up. I love it. This is one of my favorite projects long term, synchronized swimming. And this is the instrument I use for doing it. It's a 1-inch hexagon skeleton template. It has a 3/8 seam allowance, and you position your piece so you get exactly what you want with the seam allowance, and that's all you need. I think it's so much fun, such a fun activity, and for a very small layout, but so much enjoyment. And it does take time, but you know, this is a slow crafting project, something that we love to do. And the final picture is so beautiful. And you know, it's just so happy to see something so beautiful happen from scraps. All my quilts are scrappy quilts. Even the Jacob's Ladder, they are named, well, they are identified as scrappy quilts, but they're just small pieces of fabric, and I refer to my scraps as little pieces of jewels, because the most I buy is 1/3 of a metre, which is about 40 centimetres, I think. And yeah, and Judith gives me lovely pieces too. I mean, how much fun can you have with a 1-inch hexagon, friends? I have been doing this for a fair while. I think I started hexagons, well, my first hexagon quilt was in 1974 or 73, and I found I was sick in bed, and I was reading a women's magazine here in Australia, and there was a 1-inch hexagon project, and they were very basic back then, but it just grabbed me. I mean, from the first minute I'd had it. I was hooked on hexagons, and so from then I still have that quilt, and it's still not finished. Can you believe it? Must be the longest work in progress ever. It's like 50 years. And then yeah, then I had university, job, children, and then I retired. We had lockdown, but before that there were swaps on Facebook, and I accidentally found them, and my friend Julie in the UK, I think she was one of my first friends to swap with, and Betsy and Ellen in the UK, in the US. Yeah, I just had so much fun, and what a wonderful craft it is. Quilts. Hexagon quilts. I'm going to talk more about this quilt soon. I just have to find where I've put it. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed hexagons, and when I find the quilt that goes with the book, we'll have a talk about that too. While I'm here, I thought I would show you how I big stitch quilt hexagons. I really do like cross hatching, and I really do like it on an angle like this. I do it with sticky tape. I think it's 3/8 of an inch sticky tape. Could be more, could be 1/2 inch sticky tape. These were called mug rugs, but I've never used it to put a coffee cup on or anything. That's the back. This is a mini quilt. And it's an example of my hand quilting. I just wanted to do a few on how I quilt, and you can see the insides of it too. Just a lovely piece of fabric. And I had some black batting, 3 layers. It's a very thin and lovely batting. There's another one. This is sort of Japanese quilting. Really like the pattern it makes. It's the back. And it also has the black batting. So that's nearly the end, and I thought I'd ask my daughter to take some video of the rainforest near their place where they live. It's at the bottom of a very steep gully, so it's a microclimate, but it is so beautiful, and the children like to go there after school and just de-stress. And it was Friday, and Audie likes to just go there and jump around. It's really nice in nature, isn't it? that's me signing off for this week's vlog, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all my new subscribers and my old friends. Thank you so much for coming to see me. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe and press those buttons and leave a comment. And yeah, just all helps to make the channel grow, doesn't it? And something I'm very excited about. I think any competitive person is interested in see how numbers increase, but you know. So if you subscribe and like and do all this stuff, make a comment, YouTube can recognize the algorithms and whatever else, and get it out there to more people, and that would make me very happy. So thank you, dear friends, for coming to see me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.